Welcome back to Cards and Comics, guys. Today I have a quick video. Hoping it is anyway, but I'm going to open this box of 52 Topps. It is the reprint set from 1983, an official Topps reprint. Now, the cards in here can be desirable if they're in high grade. I have seen these sets open and the cards are all terribly off center. So I am going to be going to the Albany show this month and submit some cards for grading. And I thought maybe if there's, you know, some nice cards, the Mantle, the Maze, the Jackie out of here that's nice, I would get them graded. So I've never opened one of these sets. I just want to see what it looks like. We'll go from there. I don't know if they're sorted in any kind of order. So I'm just going to, you know, see where we're at and go from there. But yeah, here it is. The 52 Topps reprint set from 1983. Here we go. They have a little bit of a cool curl. Now the one thing that is very apparent is obviously they are not the same size as 52 Topps. They are smaller. We'll see if they're in order. They are not. So you just have to run around and find the Mantle, find the Maze. So here we go. Now, centering on the ones I'm seeing so far doesn't look terrible. Does not look terrible. So it's not ringing endorsement. But like that Murray Dixon looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, they're glossy. I can smell them. They smell good. They don't smell moldy or mildewy. So there we go. So let's see if we can find some Hall of Famers. Again, you know, we want Mantle, Maze. This is what I'm talking about. See how these cards are way off center. So you might find the Mantle, but it might be way off center. And that makes getting tens in this, you know, set a challenge. And it's why some of these cards are worth a little bit of money in the right grade. So looking for, I haven't seen actually any really big cards yet. You know, obviously Mantle, Maze, Jackie Robinson, maybe Eddie Matthews. You know, there's just like, you know, just like the big cards. But there's, you know, obviously there's Yogi Berra. There's all kinds of Hall of Famers in here. So we'll see when we get one. It also shows you just kind of how big the set was. You know, when you think about 52 Topps, you only think about, you know, those really big cards, but there's a lot of cards in this set. But you can see how nice they are. Here's the backs. I don't think you got different color backs. I think everything's a red back for this set. There you go. That's the first ones. Now, obviously, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera here. The cards that were on the very end might be the most damaged. So here we go. Rocky Bridges. You know, it's kind of cool when you have this set because, you know, obviously I don't have a 52 Topps set, so I've never seen every card in the set before. So it's kind of cool just to see the artwork, the coolness of the set. Oop, Ted Beard. There's Minnie Minoso, so that's a cool card. There you go. And again, this one is off center, so I would not like the Mantle to be that far off center when I get to the Mantle. So yeah, Clem Labine, who played on those Dodgers World Series winning team. Ralph Branca, another player who was on that team. So George Kell. So we're seeing some Hall of Famers, and again, the George Kell isn't that bad. I mean, it's a little off. So there's some hope here that the Mantle and the Maze, the Jackie won't be that far off. And again, they are a little sticky. I would say that they're very glossy and a little sticky. I see a card I love. I actually have this card. It's the 52 Topps Vernon Law. I love that card. One of my favorite pirate cards I have. Billy Herman, Howerton, Gaspell. So again, I like the fact they had horizontal cards in this time period as well, or during the set. It's just a cool set. You know, Topps came out definitely after their kind of like sticky 51 set, which is more of a game than a set, and nailed it. I mean, if you think about it, it's probably the greatest debut of a new player in the card business The only person that got close to it was Upper Deck when they came out in '89. But this is probably the greatest premiere because, let's face it, the '81 Donruss and Fleer sets are atrocious. They're some of the worst quality and design cards ever made. Just really ugly. They're kind of ugly in a charming way today. But back then, 81 Topps is not a pretty set. But it still blew the pants off of Fleer and Donruss back in '81 in terms of just... You could open a box of 81 Donruss and get like the same 20 players. It was terrible. It's just no good quality control. So 52 Topps definitely was compared to, these are small. The real cards are bigger in size. So it's kind of like, yeah. This kind of blew the doors off of Bowman in terms of just quality, size, just, great, photography. Just the set looked really cool. So if you think about it, I'm not sure there was card collectors back then. There's people who, I guess you could say they're collectors, kids, who, this must have blew their minds when they saw this set for the first time. They were like, they went from the tiny little Bowman cards to something like this. With these color photos and just, big set and big cards and everything was just bigger and better. All right, so we haven't hit anything yet. So it's a big set. So we're only looking for a few different cards. So it's kind of fun going through here. It's kind of like, like I said, seeing these cards for the first time. As a kid, there was a baseball card store in the mall that I would go to with my parents. And on display, Bob Friend. Have that card too. Love it. On display, they had, now if the mantle looked like that, wouldn't that be something? That would be very cool. Even though it's a little top to bottom, but still, that's a nice card. On display at that shop was a whole run of 52 Topps commons, I think like 50 or 60 commons, and they had them arranged, so they made a display in their case. So as a kid, I was just mesmerized by 52 Topps commons. No Hall of Famers, just a bunch of commons, but just how alien those cards looked compared to cards today, like Billy Martin, or cards that were coming out at that time. I just was like, I really wanted those cards. I always try to talk my dad into buying a common, and at the time, a common was maybe 15 bucks for a nice common, and which may have been even high then because it's a card store. But he was like, no, not buying. Steve, so shock, for $15. Because even back then, 15 bucks, could have bought you like a Griffey Rookie or something. Probably they had a little more value for that time period. Then, no, there's Larry Doby. So it's kind of cool. Going through, but gone through like half the set, or maybe like close to half. No way big yet. We'll keep going. It's still kind of fun. Kind of fun. It's fun. This is kind of like one of those things in a binder. I'm sure this would look awesome. Just to have all these cards in the binder. I'm sure that's where a lot of these sets probably ended up. Collector bought it, put it in a binder just so they could look at these cards and be like, here's what it would have been like in 52 to have all these cards. You just bought them out of packs and built your own little set. So yeah. And I can't really blow through this set really fast because they're sticky because of all the gloss. Which is a good thing because the gloss makes them look cool, but It does slow down. Oh, there's one of my favorite cards in the set, the Bob Feller. I really enjoy the the Warren Spawn. I remember when this card was a huge card as a common. It's like one of those cool photography cards. Here's a Richie Ashburn. Just kind of laying out all the cool Hall of Famers. And all the pirate cards were very important to me. I would always, you know, if I saw 52 Topps Common Pirate, and that's the one I wanted because it's a pirate. You know, and this is one of the few sets that there is no, from the 50s with no really good pirate cards in it. You guys remember Clemente didn't come along to 55. There's Clue and his forearm, or his guns. Eddie Juiced, so yeah. Yep. Again, they're a little sticky. They almost feel like they have like the residue on them from like gum. Remember, if you ever open a gum pack where you get the powder from the starch they put on the gum so that it wouldn't stick as much, and that's what it feels like. It feels like there's like something on the cards that's coming off of them. It just makes it a little bit harder to just kind of open because like they just get sticky. I'm glad that wasn't a Mantle or Maze. And again, they're not super expensive cards, but in a PSA 10, you know, the Mantle, the Maze, and the Jackie are worth some money. There's a Yogi. There's Hoyt Wilhelm, another Hall of Famer. I want to pull him out. He was more of a reliever. So here we go. Yeah, this is interesting. Maybe they're all right in front. So, well, I thought we would hit one of them, you know, of the three. Right, there's Red Shingbeast. I remember actually owning this card. I don't own a lot of 52s in my collection, honestly. Here's Andy Pafko. It's one of the high grade, one of the harder cards to get. All right. Oh, right off the bat. Right off the bat, I get the Willie Mays. So it's off center, left to right. So I'm going to put it in the sleeve. But it's not exactly what I was looking for from a centering perspective. So a little disappointed in the centering on that card, honestly. So we got 2 more shots. I mean, that could still maybe 8. You may not get the OC, but it's definitely not going to probably, you know, 10 or 9. But yeah. So there's the Maze. First card of the when I pull the new stack off. Oh, it's another good one. So we're getting them right in a row. And this one looks super nice. This one is a good one. That's Eddie Matthews. And he is, in the base top set, one of the bigger cards. So I think in this set, probably not as much, but it's just cool that I got the card. And he is actually a very nice looking card. So there's Eddie Matthews. And right behind him is the Duke Snider. So I don't know if I get the Duke Snider graded, but it's cool the Duke Snider was right behind him. So now it seems like we're getting the Hall of Famers and the good cards kind of like all at once, but I'm also running out of cards, so that makes sense that they would all run. Now, Cliff Mapes is interesting. I had a friend of mine, well, a friend of my dad's, who was an umpire with him, and And his grandfather was Cliff Mapes, and he actually was Mickey Mantle's roommate on the road during this time period. So he played for the Yankees too, in the Tigers. But he wasn't, an amazing player, but he played, with the Yankees in the 50s and was Mantle's roommate, and they hung out together. So it's cool. And when he got to go to Old Timers days, Cliff would bring our friend Robert with him, and they got to hang out in the clubhouse with Mickey Mantle during Old Timer games, and it's just fun. I mean, that's cool stories. My buddy Robert has an amazing collection, and just tons of autos, and just one of those collectors who has a lot of Mantle stuff. That's who he specialized in. So there's the Mantle. There we go, guys. And the Jackie's right behind it. Back to back to back. Look at that. All right. So the Mantle has a little bit of a print on it, but it's centered pretty well. There we go. There it is. That's the big dog. That's the big one. So I see a little bit of a roller mark on it. So I don't know. I think it could probably 8, maybe 9. We'll see. I think it's cool. It's definitely well centered compared to what I've seen from some of the cards or some other sets that were open. There's the Mantle. And then one card down from the Mantle is the Jackie. Here we go. There's the Jackie. That looks really nice. You can see a little bit of roller marks on them, but I think that's just what the cards all look like. I mean, so I'm going through here, they all kind of have, that little bit of indentation. There's the Jackie. That Jackie looks... So let's look at the Mantle in terms of centering. It's pretty well. I mean, it's pretty spot on, a little top to bottom. The Jackie is almost perfect. And then the Matthews is pretty good. And so the Maze is the only one that's kind of off of these cards. So that's pretty amazing. And that's really cool. The Jackie is so nice, because I think a lot of people would, almost put the Jackie now as, Mantle 1, Maze 2, Jackie 3, but there's some people I know who would take the Jackie over the Maze. Just because it's such a good card of Jackie. Ooh, don't want to cover up the Mantle. I'll put him down there, because I'm not sure he belongs to those 3 right there. There's Robin Roberts, Monty Irvin, Leo DeRocher. So there's a lot of good cards. Al Dark, all right in a row. So it's cool. So I don't know if there's anything else big to try to find in here. It's interesting. There's a flip. I just took it out of the box just like this. Guys got cross-eyed. I know Clyde King was so cross-eyed. Now I can maybe go faster because I'm not going to damage him. I was afraid of damaging any of the big cards before I pulled them. So I got like a little bit left. Oops, keep hitting them. And I'm not sure what else I'm going to be looking for, because I know I've got the 3 kind of big guys right there. Now we're playing the flip game from Topps. And again, the seal is still on these cards. Like this card's completely flipped backwards. The Bob Kane. Dizzy Trout. It's a great name. Yeah. So everything was pretty well sorted properly before. Now we're flipping and flipping. Wilmore Mizell. There's Smokey Burgess. One of my favorite cards from the set. Just love that card. It's cool perspective on that photo. Ted Wilkes. I wish that was Ted Williams. Could you imagine how expensive the set was if you had Mr. Williams in the set? Super bummer that we didn't have a Ted Williams in the set. That would have been epic to the max. Johnny Sane. All right, well, I think we're I don't think there's anything else really to try to find. The only other card I wanted to find out of here was the, and I can flip through a little faster, is the Warren Spawn. It's got the red background. I always love the Warren Spawn that's in the set. There's Sudden Sam Jones. There's another card I really like, the Dick Groat. I think I sold my Dick Groat during the pandemic when the card just went up like everything else, and was like, yeah, I bought it when it was worth pretty much 1/3 or half of what it was selling for, so I sold it. All right. Luke Easter. Yeah, I'm just looking for the Warren Spawn because it's one of my favorite cards in the set. It's got a red background, so it should be easy to spot when we get to it. That's a cool looking background. There it is. There's Warren Spawn. It's off center, but love that card. I love the Warren Spawn. Yeah, I think it's the last really big card I was looking for. There's Gil Hodges. I don't know what I was thinking. There's Campanella. So there's Campy. There we go. All right. So that's it. So here's kind of like, just through Eddie Matthews because I know he's expensive, but you know, obviously from the actual set, but 52 Mantle. So that's what it looks like. 52 Jackie from 83. Sorry, the 83 Topps version of it. There you go. Official reprints. There's Willie Mays. And there's Eddie. Let me know if you think these should be graded. And should I grade any of these other cards? So here is some of the other Hall of Famers. There's Campanella, Spawn, Rizzuto, Duke, Snyder, Yogi Berra, Bob Feller. So here's some other cool Hall of Famers. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should I get these graded? Should I just hold off? You know, pretty cool looking cards and some more well centered. So I think they could be gradable. Well, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you next time on Cards and Comics. Bye.